My water broke the next day. They had to take out the cerclage that had been put in. And then my son was born about a day and a half, 2 days later at 23 weeks. So we were admitted to the NICU from there. Overall, we were really, really happy. And we were really fortunate, I felt like, to have the team that we did. They were absolutely wonderful. But I think, talking to other parents and discussing the differences in our stays, we were there for a little over 4 months, so it was a long stay because he was so little and so fragile. But, I think one of the biggest differences that, we see between our stay and maybe some others is we had a really fantastic primary care team. So we saw a lot of the same faces every day. And that makes a big difference, not only to the babies, but also to their families, because you're not constantly retelling your story. One of the first aha moments is, we were in the room and, our nurse that day happened to end up becoming one of our primary providers, primary care team. And she said, do you want to touch your baby? And I was like, not really, he's tiny and fragile and I'm going to break him. I really do want to touch him, but I'm afraid I'm going to break him. So it was, her being willing to show us, here's what you can do. And here are some of the ways that you can interact and care for him, that you don't have to be concerned that you're going to hurt him. I will never forget the first round that somebody finally said, instead of if he goes home to when he goes home. And we finished that round, and I remember my husband was there that day, and I said, they said when? We're eventually going to go home. So it's things like that the power of language and the power of being able to connect with a family, those are the little things that may seem insignificant in the daily life, because it wasn't, hey, the nurse remembered to give him TPN at a certain time. Those types of things don't stand out to me because that's what they do. But it's the small connection types of pieces those are the things that make a big difference. The advice is, definitely that you're stronger than you think you are, but you need to ask for help when you need it, and accept help even when you haven't asked for it, because those are the types of things that give you the energy and the emotional bandwidth to just keep going, because it is definitely a journey. And I think having that conversation as a parent to say, give me some perspective. Truly, what are the big things today? And being able to ask questions during rounds and not being intimidated, because at the end of the day, it is your baby. And at the end of the day, they're doing everything they can to make sure that your baby survives and thrives and is put in the best possible place, but the decisions are still yours. And then being an advocate for your partner, because whether you're a mom who's struggling, or a dad who's struggling, or, a partner who's struggling, or a grandma who's people are going to struggle. It's the NICU. It's not easy. It's one of the hardest experiences that anybody will ever go through. It is one of the most taxing. It is a roller coaster. It is a journey. And it definitely is something that you'll learn things from along the way.